You are listening to the Empowering Working Moms podcast, Real Talk with Dr. Prianca Naik, a show to help professional moms in survival mode to take hold of their lives and thrive. If you're ready to take powerful action to create your best life, then this is the show for you. I'm your host, Dr. Prianca Naik, board-certified internal medicine physician and certified life coach. Now let's get to it and dive in. You are listening to the Empowering Working Moms podcast, episode number 37. Well, hello there. Hi to all my lovely, beautiful, wonderful listeners. Hi, friends. I'm so glad that you are here tuning in with me today. Actually, today here in the Northeast is completely beautiful. It's a little cold, but the sun is shining, which is awesome, right? We love seeing the sun. So good for us. Today, I really want to talk about something that affects all of us. Every single working woman, every single working mom, every single mom, actually. It's our to-do list, which for many women is the bane of their existence. It is always there, right? And it's always getting longer. It's our never-ending to-do list. But before we dive in today, I do want to let you know that enrollment is open for my group coaching program. What? Group? Yes. Group coaching for professional moms who are mentally exhausted in survival mode to truly enjoy the life that they've worked so hard to build. And I'm launching this in March, and it will be group coaching accompanying a robust program that will truly walk you through giving you the foundation for loving your life. It's called From Surviving to Thriving, Build Your Best Life. So if you want to do this, take that next step to truly enjoy the life that you've worked so hard for, book a call with me, www.priancanayakmdcoaching.as.me. I would love to talk to you, see where you are, and of course, see if you're a good fit for the program. So actually, one of my clients came to me. She literally did not want to even face each day. She was so exhausted, even though she actually liked her job. She has a nice partner, but she found herself stressed, constantly fatigued, unable to enjoy her life. But through our work together, she has bounced back from things that would have made her so upset for long periods of time, increasing her resilience. She's able to not judge herself and really just approach herself with love and compassion, which was really hard for her to do. And now she's enjoying every single day of her life, making the most of her time with her kids. But I say this because I think for so many of you out there, right? And for me too, self-love, loving ourselves, having self-compassion was such a crazy concept, right? Until you do the work. And once you do it, believe me, you'll never go back because your life will never be the same. Now, I want to get back to the topic of our never-ending to-do list. It causes so much suffering if you let it because it's there, it's nagging, it's unending, it's always getting longer. So one of the first steps in much of this work is acceptance. So acceptance of this list is crucial. Acceptance that the to-do list is never-ending. And that when we check things off, new things are going to find their way onto that list. Okay. This is just, it's like magic, honestly. Keeping this in mind, we can decide though to make our peace with it. And as our frenemy, right? We can see our to-do list as our frenemy. We'll know that it's always there, but we need to learn to live with it because it's not going anywhere. It's like, that mother-in-law that you don't like. It's like that, right? She's going to be there. So you better figure out how you're making your peace with her. She's not going anywhere, just like the to-do list, right? So we all have a long to-do list, and most of the time it's our work to-dos and our personal life to-dos. And then sometimes people may even ask us to do things, which creates more freaking to-dos, right? So refer to the episode on boundaries, episode number 22, if you need help with that. But basically, we have to learn how to say no to stop unnecessary stuff from making it on to our lists. The power of no. The most important thing when tackling this to-do list is, of course, to categorize the items on the list, with the most urgent thing being the most important or time sensitive, right? So we have to triage. Like, for those of you who are physicians, you know what I'm talking about. You have to triage what's most important and needs to be done right away. And make sure that you take time to do those, the most urgent tasks, weekly. Set aside time, let's say 30 minutes or so, to take care of these nagging tasks. And while you're at it, make sure to compartmentalize this to-do list, meaning you make an active decision not to think about it when you're working on it during designated times. You take a break, right? You have to have faith in yourself that you'll always get everything done on your to-do list, just like you always have in the past and just like you always will. I'm guessing if you stop to reflect and think about all the times that you've dropped the ball on things, I doubt there are that many times somehow. I know you're type A and you're getting shit done left and right, right? So, how I make sure my to do list doesn't overtake me or bother me, and how I empower myself to have power over it, and how you can too, is through the following steps. One, I make my to do lists on fancy stationery, right? I've had custom made stationery that says Priyanka's to do list via Etsy. They're super cute, so it makes it a lot more fun to look at and interact with. It has check boxes that I can check off. And of course, if I forget something and then add it back in there, I check it off even if it's already done, just to have the satisfaction. I also acknowledge and accept that the to-do list is always going to be there and it's never going to be complete because new shit's always going to come up. It just always does, right? And this allows me to not sweat the to-do list and not cause me any stress, any further stress. I make my piece of the to-do list as the frenemy that we talked about, and I know that it's not going away. So I'm good with that. I'm okay with it. I'm sort of zened out with the to-do list. I do a few small things that are easy. So do those when you don't feel like doing anything, like small tasks. This could be something like making an appointment or a phone call. If you've got 10 free minutes and you don't know what to do, you can check off things off your to-do list in little bits of time. Say no to extra things when you don't have time, even to your parents. I know that's probably a mind-boggling, topic. Like, what? Say no to my parents when they ask me for something? I can't do that. Well, you actually can, okay? Because when it comes to this work, when you're feeling exhausted all the time, you truly have to figure out what is depleting you. And if your time is limited, which I'm guessing it is, you can't just take on any and all projects, any and all like emotional burdens from other people, right? You have to be really careful and stand guard to the door of your mind, which is a Jim Rohn quote, but truly be intentional about how you're spending your time. So if your to-do list is crazy and you're really busy, learn to say no to whomever it is. It could be your parents, your husband, your boss, your friend, whomever. And then, of course, prioritizing the stuff that you absolutely must get done. Another tip is to actively decide that you are not going to allow your to-do list to steal your joy, okay? Because I know that's what they often do. They sit there, they get longer. You get all stressed out, right? And just making an active decision that you're not going to let your to-do list have power over you, right? We are more powerful than our to-do lists. One hack I love is to set a timer for to-dos. So this happens to me, especially if I am hiring some sort of help, be it a babysitter, etc., and I need to talk to a reference. That's one of those things where I'm talking to multiple references, and I've done this so many times that if I'm doing it for one person, it just it'll float away sometimes. So I will set an alarm for the time I might talk to a prospective babysitter, or set an alarm for a reference and things like that. Also deduce and figure out the high level and low level, or well, high value and low value tasks, aka if there are tasks that really require your expertise, those are tasks you definitely need to be doing. But if there are lower value tasks like secretarial stuff, maybe making an appointment that you don't want to make, see if you can potentially outsource this, because this will really ease up and free up so much of your time and energy. Just the thought. It's it can take a lot of groundwork to find good help, but once you can find somebody who gets into a rhythm with you, it can really unload your mental load. The best thing that we can do to truly combat the angst and stress that our to-do lists bring is to make our peace with them, realizing that our to-do lists aren't going anywhere. They're always going to get longer, but also having faith in ourselves to take care of what needs to be taken care of in a timely manner, manage things like we always have, like we always will, having our own backs. So if you can keep that in mind above all else, your to-do list will no longer have power over you to make you agitated. Try any and all of these tips and let me know how it goes. You can find me on Instagram at Dr. Priyanka. Shoot me a message and let me know how it's going. Enrollment is open for my group coaching program launching in March for professional moms who are mentally exhausted and want to enjoy the life that they've worked so hard to build. Apply to work with me so I can see where you are and see if you're a good fit for the program to truly get out of exhaustion and love your life. Priyanka Naik, mdcoaching.as.me. Thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you next week. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Empowering Working Moms podcast, Real Talk with Dr. Prianca Naik. If you are ready to get unstuck and out of survival mode to live your best life, I want to invite you to book a free 30-minute consultation call with me. To get started, visit priyankanaikmdcoaching.as.me. Link in the show notes.